is Reg, and I used to be the paper junkie. I'm saying I used to be because this video is an attempt to explain why I'm not going to be the paper junkie anymore. And it's all because of one thing. I have decided to switch from analog to digital. I know a lot of people are going to be in shock about that decision, but that wasn't something that I just came up with in the past few months. It was something that I felt started last year or 2 years ago, and it started to creep itself way up into my subconscious mind, and I couldn't get it out of my head. It all started when I started destashing all the books that I've hoarded for over three years, I guess. I started buying books when I got my first job, which is still my job until now. It was because back in high school and college, I didn't have all the money in the world to buy everything that I wanted. So when I got that, with my salary, I started hoarding books. I started attending the Manila International Book Fair, and I kept on buying books I wanted, but deep inside I realized I didn't really have the intention to read all of them. It was just good to buy books and then post them on social media and say, "Ooh, look, I bought more books," but I haven't really finished one or like three of them in that bunch or in that batch. When I went to the US 2 years ago for work, I was there for rotation, and I left my room for a few months. And all the books, all the planner stuff that I had accumulated dust. So when I came home, I had to clean them all up, and it felt like I had all these things that didn't really give me the joy that they used to before. And that was the time I started reading The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. And it felt like I agreed that a lot of the stuff that I had back then didn't really spark joy anymore. So I decided like early last year to destash all my books, all the physical books that I had, and save up for a Kindle. So eventually I got one, and when I started buying books from my Kindle, I felt like this was such a good idea. I had less clutter in my room. I could bring any book I want anytime I want. It didn't add more weight in my bag, and it felt really light and like one of the best decisions I've made in the past few years that's connected to my hobbies. So after that lengthy introduction with that Kindle and the start of me deciding to switch to digital for some other aspect in my life, I started listening to the Minimalists podcast. So I think point number one in my change of perspective is that from the Minimalists podcast, I learned that you only should retain things that add value to your life. You have the ability to decide what you should throw away, stash, or give away to other people. You should only have the things that you need, and because sometimes the things that you want are things that you need. And I felt like that really spoke to me a lot. There was one time that I was just sitting on my desk and I was wondering, why do I have all these stuff that I don't really use, and what good do they add to my life on a daily basis? Because even my planner that I bring to work, like my personal plan, it felt like it wasn't really contributing anything of value to my life. And that brings us to point two of the change in perspective. I realized that I was only doing the planning stuff and all the things that I was buying back then. It felt like I did it to please other people. Like if there was a lot of hype with this certain product, I'll go and buy that. Like if there were a couple of girls who were raving about these stickers and this washi tapes and this planning tool, I was there. I wanted to be there. I wanted to have it too. I wanted to be able to post it on my Instagram account and tell other people about it. And it just felt like it was defeating the purpose for what planning is. Like, I used my planner to be able to show it off on social media. I'm not afraid to admit it now because I did some thinking and I realized there were a lot of things that I needed to change. And that brings me to point 3. I had to rethink like how I was using the materials that I had and what I wanted to do with them. So I changed my planners and journals over the past few years. I've changed my planning system over the past few years. And even though I'm saying that I'm going to switch to digital, I still stand by what I've said in my past Instagram posts and YouTube posts, that I've found the planner that I felt really at peace with, and it was a Jibun Techo B6 Slim. That's the planner that I used this year. I've found planning system peace with the bullet journaling system. And for me, I felt like I wanted to explore more like options on how I will be able to utilize both of them in a way that would really help me out in getting my life more organized and getting things done. That brings me to point 4. I don't have all the time in the world to sit at my desk anymore and design all this stuff. I mean, I wanted to be a functional planner in the first place after feeling so tired of trying to buy more cute stickers and washi tapes to put on my planner. Okay, I messed up my hair. So basically, I just want a change, and I want a more intentional change that will really help me share it with other people as well. What should planning be really about? I felt like I could be more productive, especially because I'm in the tech industry. I want to have the convenience of having all the stuff that I have in one device, and that's when I started to look into digital planning. I didn't even know that it was possible to have like a digital planner and still enjoy the feeling of writing it down. I mean, it's not the same on paper and when you do it on a screen, but when I was trying to weigh the pros and cons, I have 7 planners and journals that I set at the start of the year that I will be updating, but I didn't even have the time to do it. And all the pages, especially the dated ones, they went to waste. And like, imagine bringing 5 to 7 planners and journals versus one device that has everything you need. And so that's when I decided that, well, maybe having an iPad is a good idea, or a tablet, or whatever planning device I can have. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm switching to digital. I'm setting up my planners already for the remaining 3 months of this year. I'm going to try it out. I'm not going to update my Jibun anymore. So if you're still expecting stuff from me, I won't be able to do that anymore. Well, except for maybe a flip through. I'm going to do that, but I think that would be the last. I know this might come as a shock to the brands that I've worked with before, and to the people who have followed my Instagram and YouTube accounts for paper planner stuff. So I'm pretty sure you've already noticed it, but I'm not going to post stuff like that anymore. I've already started that stash shred that I have in one of the Philippine planner selling groups, and I really felt at peace trying to let go of all that stuff. And I really wish that people would buy it so that I can get rid of them already, and so they wouldn't occupy more space in my teeny tiny apartment. Maybe people are wondering now, like, what are you going to post about now, and what are you going to call yourself? So I'm going to focus more about digital planning, digital journaling, trying to be more productive, because I haven't been the best at productivity for the past years. I want to be more productive. So that's what I'm going to focus more about. And I'm going to call myself, as you can see, I have a cup of tea. And every time I plan, like I do my weekly planning, I do it with tea. So I'm going to call myself Tea Time Plans now. So I'm saying goodbye to the paper junkie and hello to Tea Time Plans. If you have any questions at all, like with this switch and whatever, please just comment them down below and I'm going to try to answer them. I hope this video helped out other people as well who are trying to figure out what they want to do. I'm not telling everyone to switch. I'm just saying that this is what I feel is working for me right now, and I'm just trying to share it. So expect more of that. Maybe trying to share more about this switch. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, then it's okay. I understand. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Yes, I did that. Anyway, I will see you in my next video. Bye.